Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be watching from. I'm attorney Vincent W. Davis, and today we're going to talk about a subject that frustrates a lot of parents involved in California family court. And that subject is hidden income, cash income, under the table earnings, money that one parent is making but not reporting in a child support case. Now, let me tell you something right from the beginning. This issue comes up all the time in California family courts. One parent says, I can barely survive, I don't make enough money. Meanwhile, they're driving a new truck, taking vacations, paying cash for things, running a side business, collecting money through apps, or working jobs that somehow never show up on a tax return. And the other parent sits there thinking, how is this possible? How can the court calculate child support accurately if the real income is hidden? That is exactly what we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about how California courts determine income for child support purposes. We're going to discuss what happens when someone is self employed or paid in cash. We're going to cover subpoenas, bank records, social media evidence, business records, discovery procedures, evidentiary objections, and how to prove that someone's actual lifestyle does not match the income they claim in court. We're also going to talk about the procedural rules because family court is not just about being right, it's about proving you're right using admissible evidence and proper court procedure. And finally, we're going to discuss what legal options are available if the trial court gets it wrong. So, if you're dealing with a child support issue in California involving hidden income, cash earnings, or suspected financial dishonesty, stay with me because this video could make a major difference in your case. Now, let's begin with the foundation. Under California law, child support is based primarily on the income of the parents and the amount of time each parent spends with the child. California uses a statewide guideline formula. The purpose is to ensure that children receive adequate support according to the parent's actual financial circumstances. The key phrase there is actual financial circumstances, not fake numbers, not manipulated tax returns, not selective disclosures. The court wants to know what money is really coming in. California Family Code Section 4058 defines income very broadly, and this is important. A lot of people think income only means what appears on a W 2. That is not true. Income can include wages, salaries, commissions, bonuses, rents, dividends, pensions, trust income, workers' compensation, unemployment benefits, disability benefits, self employment income, and basically any recurring benefit or payment that increases someone's ability to support a child. And courts are allowed to look beyond tax returns. That's very important to understand. Just because someone files taxes showing low income does not automatically mean the court must believe them. In fact, California courts have repeatedly held that family courts can examine earning capacity, cash flow, lifestyle evidence, and circumstantial evidence to determine whether reported income is credible. Now, let me give you an example. Suppose a father claims he only earns $2,000 per month working part time construction, but he posts pictures online every weekend showing expensive vacations, new motorcycles, luxury watches, and stacks of cash. He pays rent in cash. He owns tools and equipment worth tens of thousands of dollars. Friends and family testify that he works side jobs constantly. Bank records show regular cash deposits. That becomes evidence. Circumstantial evidence is still evidence. And family court judges see these situations all the time. Now, before we get into strategy, I want to explain something extremely important. Accusing someone of hiding income without evidence can backfire badly. Family court judges do not like speculation. You cannot walk into court and say, I just know he's lying. That's not enough. You need documents, records, timelines, transactions, witnesses, patterns, credible facts. The stronger your evidence, the stronger your position. So let's talk about how you actually challenge hidden income in a California child support case. The first step is understanding disclosure obligations. In California family law proceedings, both parties have a legal duty to disclose financial information fully and accurately. This includes income and expense declarations, tax returns, pay stubs, business information, and supporting financial documentation. The primary form used is the FL 150 Income and Expense Declaration. People sign these forms under penalty of perjury. That matters. If someone intentionally lies about income, they can face sanctions, attorney's fees, credibility problems, and in some cases, findings of perjury. Now let's discuss the practical side. Suppose you receive the other parent's FL 150 and something does not make sense. The numbers look artificially low. Their expenses exceed their reported income. They claim unemployment but appear to be working constantly. Maybe they own a cash business. Maybe they are paid through Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, or cryptocurrency. Maybe they work off the books. What do you do? The answer is discovery. Discovery is the formal legal process used to obtain evidence and information from the other side. And this is where many self represented litigants make major mistakes. They either do no discovery at all or they wait too long. If you suspect hidden income, you need to start gathering evidence early. In California family court, discovery tools can include form interrogatories, special interrogatories, requests for production of documents, requests for admission, subpoenas to banks and employers, deposition testimony, and forensic accounting analysis in more complicated cases. Let's break that down. Form interrogatories are standardized written questions approved for California family law cases. They can require the other party to identify employment, income sources, bank accounts, business interests, and financial records. Special interrogatories allow more customized questions. For example, you might ask, identify every source of income received during the last 24 months. Identify all cash payments received for labor or services. Identify all Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, or cryptocurrency accounts. Those questions matter because modern hidden income cases often involve electronic transfers rather than traditional payroll. Next, requests for production can compel the other side to produce records, bank statements, credit card statements, invoices, receipts, business ledgers, tax returns, 1099s, Venmo histories, Cash App histories, PayPal transactions, vehicle purchase documents, lease agreements, business licenses, advertising records, social media business promotions. And yes, social media can become evidence. A person may tell the court they are unemployed while advertising services online every single day. I've seen cases involving hairstylists, contractors, mechanics, tattoo artists, musicians, fitness trainers, influencers, and small business owners who claimed almost no income while publicly marketing active businesses online. That evidence can be extremely persuasive. Now let's discuss subpoenas. Subpoenas are powerful tools because they allow you to obtain records directly from third parties. Instead of relying on the other party to voluntarily produce bank records, you can subpoena the bank directly. Instead of trusting their version of employment history, you can subpoena payroll records from employers. You can subpoena merchant processor records. You can subpoena business account records. You can subpoena rental payment histories. And sometimes third-party records tell a completely different story than the declarations filed with the court. Now, here's something important procedurally. Discovery has rules. Deadlines matter. Service requirements matter. Notice requirements matter, and evidence improperly obtained can sometimes be excluded. So you must follow California rules of court and the California Code of Civil Procedure carefully. For example, if you issue subpoenas improperly or fail to provide required notices, the other side may move to quash the subpoena. That means invalidate it. and if the judge agrees, you lose access to potentially important evidence. Now, let's discuss one of the most misunderstood concepts in child support litigation: earning capacity. California courts are not always limited to actual reported income. Under certain circumstances, courts can impute income based on earning capacity. What does that mean? It means the court can determine that a parent has the ability and opportunity to earn more than they claim. This often happens when someone intentionally suppresses income to reduce child support obligations. For example, imagine a parent who previously earned $100,000 annually as a licensed electrician. Suddenly, during child support proceedings, they claim they only earned $20,000 working part time. The court may ask questions. Why did income suddenly collapse? Was employment reduced voluntarily? Are there available job opportunities? Is the parent intentionally underemployed? The court can consider education, training, work history, licenses, skills, labor market conditions, and employment opportunities. And this is where vocational evaluations sometimes become relevant. A vocational evaluator can assess a person's employability and earning capacity. Now, I want to pause here and talk about credibility. Credibility is huge in family court. Judges observe demeanor, consistency, documentation, truthfulness, responsiveness. A person who lies repeatedly about financial issues can damage their credibility across the entire case. And once a judge believes someone is dishonest financially, that can affect custody disputes, attorney fee requests, sanctions, and future proceedings. Now let's move into evidentiary issues because this is where many cases are won or lost. Not all evidence is admissible. That matters. You may have suspicions, screenshots, rumors, or hearsay statements that feel convincing to you, but family court still follows rules of evidence. For example, hearsay is an out of court statement offered for the truth of the matter asserted. If your friend says, "I heard he makes cash under the table," that statement may face hearsay objections. Now, there are exceptions to hearsay rules, but you cannot assume every statement automatically comes into evidence. Authentication also matters. If you present screenshots from social media, you may need to establish authenticity. Who created the account? Is it truly the other parent's account? Was the content altered? Similarly, text messages may require authentication. Bank records often require business record foundations. And if you fail to lay proper foundation, evidence can sometimes be excluded. This is why preparation matters. Now let's discuss lifestyle evidence. Lifestyle evidence can be very powerful in hidden income cases. If someone reports minimal income but maintains an expensive lifestyle, the court may infer unreported income. Examples include luxury purchases, travel, gambling expenditures, expensive hobbies, frequent cash transactions, large deposits, or ownership of assets inconsistent with claimed income. Now, let me be clear. Lifestyle evidence alone may not always prove exact income amounts, but it can undermine credibility. And once credibility weakens, courts may give less weight to self-serving testimony. Now, let's talk about self-employed individuals because these are some of the most challenging child support cases. Self-employment creates opportunities for manipulation, business deductions, cash payments, personal expenses disguised as business expenses, delayed invoices, undocumented labor, underreported cash receipts, inflated expenses, family members on payroll. And courts know this. California courts can examine business records carefully to determine actual disposable income available for support. Just because something is deductible for tax purposes does not necessarily mean it reduces income for child support purposes. That's a critical distinction. For example, accelerated depreciation deductions may reduce taxable income, but not necessarily reflect actual cash flow available to support children. Courts may add back certain deductions when calculating support. Now, in complicated cases, forensic accountants become important. A forensic accountant analyzes financial records, spending patterns, business operations, and discrepancies between reported income and actual financial behavior. These experts can trace hidden income streams, identify concealed assets, and reconstruct income based on expenditures and deposits. Sometimes they perform what's called a bank deposit analysis. If deposits significantly exceed reported income, questions arise. Where did the money come from? Loans, gifts, cash business receipts, undisclosed income. And remember this: the burden shifts practically, even if not technically. If evidence strongly suggests hidden income, the accused party often must explain inconsistencies convincingly. Now let's discuss timing. Timing matters enormously in family court. Do not wait until the hearing date to begin investigating hidden income. By then, it may be too late to subpoena records or complete discovery. California family law cases often have discovery cutoff deadlines, and judges generally do not appreciate last-minute requests caused by lack of preparation. The strongest cases are organized early. Chronologies help. Timelines help. Financial summaries help. Organized exhibits help. Judges appreciate clarity. If you hand a judge a disorganized stack of random papers, your argument weakens immediately. But if you present a clean timeline showing deposits, purchases, work activity, and inconsistencies between claimed income and actual conduct, your credibility improves dramatically. Now, I want to discuss another issue that comes up often: hidden income involving family businesses. This happens a lot. A parent works for a relative. The relative claims the parent earns very little. Meanwhile, benefits are provided informally. Cash payments, housing, vehicles, fuel cards, cell phones, living expenses, expense reimbursements, business funded personal purchases. Family courts can examine these arrangements carefully. The question is not merely what is on paper. The question is what economic benefit is actually being received. And California courts have broad discretion in evaluating those issues. Now let's discuss digital evidence, because modern cases increasingly involve electronic financial trails: Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, cryptocurrency wallets, online storefronts, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram promotions, TikTok businesses, YouTube monetization, affiliate marketing, online coaching, subscription platforms. A lot of income today does not arrive through traditional payroll systems, and many litigants underestimate how discoverable digital financial activity can become. Screenshots matter, transaction histories matter, business advertisements matter, customer reviews matter, even text messages discussing jobs or payments can become evidence. But again, authentication and admissibility rules still apply. Now let's move into procedural hearings. Typically, child support disputes are heard through requests for order, often called RFOs in California Family Court. One side files an RFO requesting establishment or modification of support. Supporting declarations and financial forms are filed. The opposing side files responsive declarations. Then the matter proceeds to hearing. Sometimes temporary orders are issued first. Other times, evidentiary hearings become necessary. If disputed financial facts are substantial, the court may require live testimony and documentary evidence. And this is where preparation becomes critical. You need exhibit binders. You need organized records. You need witnesses prepared. You need subpoenaed documents available. You need objections ready. You need to know the sequence of your presentation. You need to understand what evidence supports each argument. Now let's discuss objections, because many people misunderstand objections in family court. Family court is still court. Rules still apply. Common objections include hearsay, lack of foundation, relevance, speculation, improper opinion testimony, lack of authentication, argumentative questioning, and incomplete documents. Suppose the other side introduces a partial bank statement missing pages. You may object based on completeness. Suppose they offer text messages without proving who sent them. You may object based on authentication. Suppose they testify, everyone knows he works cash jobs. You may object based on speculation or hearsay. Understanding objections matters because unreliable evidence should not automatically shape child support decisions. Now, let's talk about judicial discretion. Family court judges have broad discretion in evaluating evidence and determining credibility. That means two judges may view the same evidence differently. One judge may strongly infer hidden income from circumstantial evidence. Another judge may require more direct proof. That's reality, which is why the quality and organization of your evidence matter so much. Now, I want to discuss an important emotional issue. These cases are emotionally exhausting. People become angry, resentful, vindictive, obsessed with catching the other parent. And sometimes that emotional energy actually hurts the case because judges are looking for facts, not emotional warfare. You must stay focused on evidence, stay organized, stay calm, stay strategic. Remember, the goal is not revenge. The goal is an accurate child support order that reflects reality and serves the best interests of the child. Now let's discuss modification issues. Child support orders are not necessarily permanent. If hidden income is discovered later, modification may be possible. For example, suppose support was calculated based on false income disclosures. Later evidence emerges showing substantial concealed earnings. The affected parent may file a request to modify support. In some situations, retroactive adjustments may become relevant depending on timing and procedural posture. Sanctions may also become possible if intentional non-disclosure occurred. And in extreme cases involving fraud, additional legal remedies may exist. Now let's discuss the role of the Department of Child Support Services, often called DCSS. In some cases, DCSS becomes involved in enforcement or establishment proceedings. DCSS has certain investigative tools and enforcement mechanisms available, including wage assignments, tax intercepts, license suspensions, and financial record access. But remember, DCSS attorneys represent the government's interest in child support enforcement, not either parent individually. That distinction matters. Now let's talk about business owners specifically, because this issue comes up constantly. A business owner may control how income is characterized: salary versus distributions, retained earnings, expense reimbursements, business write-offs, vehicle deductions, travel deductions, meals, entertainment, office expenses. The court may examine whether personal expenses are being paid through the business. For example, if a business pays for personal vacations, luxury vehicles, or home expenses, those payments may effectively increase disposable income available for support. Again, substance matters more than labels. Now let's discuss the importance of consistency. Consistency in records, consistency in testimony, consistency in timelines. If someone tells the court they were unemployed during a certain period, but social media posts show active work projects every week, credibility problems arise. If tax returns conflict with bank deposits, credibility problems arise. If loan applications claim high income while court filings claim poverty, credibility problems arise. And yes, loan applications can become evidence. People often exaggerate income when applying for loans, but minimize income in family court. Judges notice that. Now let's discuss witnesses. Witnesses can matter significantly in hidden income cases. Customers, co-workers, former employees, business associates, landlords, neighbors, family members, bookkeepers, accountants. But witness credibility matters. Bias matters. Motivation matters. Specific knowledge matters. A vague witness is less persuasive than a witness with detailed firsthand observations. Now, I want to discuss one of the biggest mistakes litigants make. They assume the judge will investigate for them. That is not the judge's role. Judges evaluate the evidence presented. The court is not a private investigator. You must bring the evidence into court properly. You must present it clearly. You must connect the dots. Now let's discuss appellate remedies because sometimes trial courts make mistakes. If the trial court improperly excludes evidence, misapplies the law, abuses discretion, or makes unsupported findings, appellate review may become possible. But appeals are complicated, and many people misunderstand what an appeal actually is. An appeal is not a new trial. You generally cannot introduce new evidence on appeal. The appellate court reviews the record created in the trial court. That means preserving issues during trial matters enormously. If evidence is excluded improperly, offers of proof may matter. If objections are not raised, issues may be forfeited. If transcripts are unavailable, appellate review becomes harder, and appellate courts often defer significantly to trial court credibility findings. Why? Because the trial judge directly observed the witnesses. The appellate court usually reviews written records. Now, I also want to discuss settlement. Not every hidden income case goes to trial. Sometimes evidence developed through discovery creates settlement leverage. When one side realizes financial inconsistencies are becoming exposed, negotiated resolutions sometimes occur, and settlement can save enormous time, money, and emotional stress. But settlements should be based on informed decisions supported by adequate financial disclosure. Now let's discuss attorney's fees. California family courts may award attorney's fees based on need, ability to pay, and litigation conduct. If one party intentionally conceals financial information or engages in obstructive conduct, sanctions or fee awards may become possible. Judges do not appreciate financial gamesmanship, especially where children are involved. Now, I want to speak directly to parents watching this video. I understand how frustrating these cases are. You may feel betrayed, manipulated, financially overwhelmed, especially if you believe the other parent is hiding money while your child struggles. But you must approach these cases strategically, not emotionally. Strategically. That means understanding the law, understanding procedure, understanding evidence, understanding timing, and understanding that credibility matters tremendously in family court. Now let's discuss one final important issue: documentation. Documentation is everything. The parent with organized documentation often enters court with a tremendous advantage. Chronological binders, indexed exhibits, clear financial summaries, annotated bank records, cross-reference timelines. Judges appreciate clarity because family court calendars are crowded and time is limited. Help the judge understand your case efficiently. Do not bury your strongest evidence inside hundreds of disorganized pages. Highlight patterns. Explain significance. Connect evidence logically. So if you need help, if you need guidance, if you need representation, contact us. Call us at 888-888-6582. Visit our website, 8www.vincentwdavis.com. Visit our YouTube channel, Davis Divorce Lawyers. You can also schedule a consultation online at www.vincentdavis.setmore.com. I'm attorney Vincent W. Davis, and we are all in this together.